Ken Burns went on Joe Rogan Experience 2 days back, I think, and um, they started talking about Muhammad Ali because Ken Burns is into making documentaries, and they started praising Muhammad Ali. I mean, I have no disrespect for what Muhammad Ali has achieved and what happened to him during the Vietnam War and how he was kept away from the boxing. But one thing that I admire about the American people, and I love the whole concept of an ideology of acknowledging the talent and siding with someone who is badly treated either by the society or by the government. And this is something which we need to learn from the United States as a people from third world country, particularly a person like me who grew up in a Muslim country. I tell you something very interesting about it after listening to this, what they are talking about. Just a little clip.
When he was training, Ali was training, there'd be ghost in the house, ghost in the house. And that meant that Jack Johnson was there.
Oh, wow.
And that Ali had to be that much better.
Wow.
Ghost in the house.
Wow. The Ali of 3 years later was a completely different fighter, unfortunately. Physically, he didn't look the same because he didn't train for 3 years. He didn't do anything, and he lost everything. I mean, he still was one of the greatest. I mean, still was able to beat Joe Louis, still was able to beat George Foreman, but he is a different fighter. He didn't move the same way. He didn't have the same physical build. He didn't look as good. He'd lost 3 solid years in his prime of training.
And it makes those post Vietnam years even more spectacular. The fact that he could prevail over Frazier and over, I mean, the Rumble in the Jungle is just
Crazy.
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 What he did.
Yeah.
What he did.
Well, nobody thought he was going to win.
No one thought he was going
Including Hunter S. Thompson, who famously sabotaged his career by not covering the fight.
Okay, so there's a long discussion. It took, I think, 5 to 7 minutes. They talked about him and they acknowledged the very fact that he was one of the greatest of the heavyweight. What happened to him during the Vietnam War was really bad, and how he survived it, and how they never talked about how he converted to Islam. That is one thing that I again admire about American people, that they like to not touch the difficult to trade ideas. This is a touchy topic, I mean, and they don't want to talk about it because to them religion is a secondary thing. But when Ali converted to Islam, it wasn't the secondary thing for him, and it wasn't the secondary thing for all the Islamic world. And I always have believed that he wanted to be in the limelight, and he converted to Islam as a revenge, because there was a society, the time when all this thing happened. America was still a very Christian country in many ways, and this was a kind of a rebellion that he openly did by converting to Islam. And then and his love for Islam was not real. And I mean, to me, it was a fakery. It was that's no disrespect to who he was, what he suffered. I acknowledge everything, and all his wins against Frazier, and all his wins, and the Rumble in the Jungle win, and becoming champion again and again, and being the fastest of the heavyweights and all that. I'm not taking all those good things away from him. I'm just saying that not only he refused to go to Vietnam War, and people made him a hero on that, but nobody talked about his conversion to Islam, though he tried to take revenge, a sweet revenge, from the administration and from the whole American society by converting to Islam, and telling them that, okay, I reject your ideology, but not going to the war, and I also reject your religion, because you stripped me of all my titles, and you just suspended me for so many years. And I can tell you, like, how he became the hero of the Islamic world overnight, like this. He was the hero of the Islamic world. I was very young, very, very young. I mean, 3 or 4 year old, and we did not have a TV at home. My father used to work for a German institution which was run by the Catholic administration, and they had a TV at the parish priest's house, and we went to see that fight. That was the only time the Pakistan TV ever covered boxing matches. There was no boxing matches coverages before Muhammad Ali, and there was no boxing matches covered after Muhammad Ali. And then later on, we had the dish TV, and then the cable TV came in, and then people had internet, and then it became very prevalent. But this is what I'm talking about, the last 10 years. But between Muhammad Ali, even Mike Tyson's fights were never shown on TV in Pakistan. But when Muhammad Ali was fighting in Pakistan, we had a live coverage wherever he was fighting, because he was Muslim. And he became the hero of the Muslim country. And people don't talk about him, his conversion to Islam. But I tell you, if the same thing had happened to me, for example, in Pakistan, and they wanted to send me to a war in Afghanistan, and me being Christian refused to go to a war, that could have been like an entirely different situation for me. I wouldn't be celebrated as a hero at all. I would be put in prison forever. Maybe somebody had killed me. But if I was a Muslim, let's reverse the whole situation. Muhammad Ali was a Cassius Clay, and he was a Christian. If I was a Muslim in Pakistan, and we are having a war with Afghanistan, and they are forcing me to go to war with Afghanistan, and then I refuse, and then they suspend all my achievements, and they put me in a prison for 2-3 years, and in the prison, I meet a pastor or somebody who teaches Christianity to me, and I convert to Christianity from Islam, and then I come out, and then I perform, and then I become famous. That's not possible. The day I convert in the prison or wherever I am, after doing all this, from Islam to Christianity, this is the opposite to what Muhammad Ali did. I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man. Nobody would be talking about my talents. Nobody would be talking about my sacrifices. Nobody would be talking about my achievements. Nobody would be talking about my guts and my ability to stand up to the government policies and denying them. Because to them, I am just one person who not only denied the government policies, I denied their religion too. And that makes me very, very unacceptable and actually blasphemous. And that requires killing. That's why I was watching another program the other day on a TV. It's a podcast, and some very liberal, secular guys, Muslim guys, were doing it. And they were talking about Pakistani cricket team. And then he asked him, like, have you ever been approached by somebody and offered Islam to you? And he says, I haven't joined Pakistan cricket team. That's a joke. You know, one of the very famous Christian cricketer, he was forced into Christianity. He was forced into converting to Islam. He says that he likes Islam and all that, but I know that it was the huge pressure on him. And I worked in that setup, and being Christian is very hard. So Muhammad Ali could be like, I salute Joe Rogan, I salute Ken Burns, I salute all those Americans for being so tolerant and being so acknowledging, being such big-hearted, and having that. I mean, like, I still cannot understand how tolerant these people, how patient these people, how much they have love for the sport, and how much they have the acknowledgement for the sacrifices that Ali made. But to me, he just converted to Islam to show, to degrade the American society and American Christian religion. He wasn't a good Muslim at all. He was preaching Islam here and there, everywhere. But if he was a great Muslim, and if he was a really good Muslim, look what happened to his children. Layla Ali, she was considered the leader of the Islamic world. When she was wearing all those sexy clothes, bikinis and all that, Muslims all over the world had a lot of problems, Pakistani Muslims especially. So she had to come all the way on the media and to announce that she was not Muslim and told them to go fuck off. That's how it happened. So what Islamic legacy Muhammad Ali left behind? That would tell you that his decision to convert to Islam was just totally a retaliation. It was a revenge. It has nothing to do with him accepting faith because he liked Islam over Christianity. Apart from that, Muhammad Ali, great boxer, great acknowledgement, great skills, great speed, all that. His quotes are really good. I've used those quotes in training, like training is hard, but I did it. I hated every moment of training, but I did it, something like that, because I knew suffer today so that you could live like a champion tomorrow. Yeah, I'm paraphrasing it. Yeah, as a boxer, I don't know. I never liked him as a boxer too. Maybe there's some kind of antipathy I have against Muhammad Ali, but to me, he was always like holding the other person whenever he was going to be punched or boxed in. Yeah, he never allowed the other boxer to punch him because he always liked to put his arms around the other boxer. That's the way I looked at it. I mean, he wasn't an open boxer, but that was his defense mechanism and all that. But maybe he was a very good boxer when he was young, and I missed all those fights. That's my view on Muhammad Ali. I mean, no disrespect. Hats off to his talent and his ability to move around in the ring. And I feel sorry for all those prime years that he suffered by being away from training and all that, but that's all. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much. Have a good day.